We are error.
Alright, no, so anyhow, I was x-rayed over 100 times when I was a kid, right? So I always wonder if my nuts are so big because of that.
That's what I'm saying.
and so they take your x-ray. Now, it wasn't until I was about 13.
Were they using gamma?
I got the
real Hulk smash.
Oh, yeah. His balls are both.
You know what? I should own it like that and be like, bitch, Hulk smash.
Yeah.
I call my nuts Hulk. This one's HU, this one's LK, bitch.
Yeah.
But, so they did, but not until I was like 12 or 13 did they start putting the metal bib over my dick.
Yeah.
And I was like, should we been having this the whole time? So what's even worse is, I don't know if you guys have ever had anything x-rayed, but you can see the skin. You can see the flesh, though. You can see the outline. Mind you, it was my hip area that they always had to scan.
Yeah.
So I'm getting gamma radiation straight to my dick and balls. And then they're throwing it up there. And then right there on the screen, my nuts in my dick.
Yeah.
Now, once again, I got big old balls. So you can just see the hot dog laying on top of the ball. And there it is. I'm just like, and then it's on display, and they're just talking about, here's the hip, and here is the hip. My doctor was German.
Yeah.
Maybe it was an experiment. I don't know.
Right.
He's a Nazi. He's like, look at the hip. Look at it. And I'm like, no one's looking at it. They're looking at my nuts. It was embarrassing. And my dad would say, you got big old crackers. I'm like, sure, Dad.
Really clackers, though.
It sucks. Yeah, it sucks.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's funny. Now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the We Are Air podcast. This is Duck. I'm here with
Jake.
Javi.
And what is the We Are Air podcast? It's a podcast where we talk about movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. And today, we're going to start by talking about the Marvel news!
Marvel News!
Snick. Alright, that's all I got.
We waited. We had to take a week off. We didn't get to talk about Comic-Con. I've been waiting for it.
Oh, yeah.
I know you've been reading up on stuff.
Yeah.
I know you've been reading up on stuff. Nothing. Hobbs ain't heard shit about it.
How's this working like a dog?
Everyone's working
Watching
like a
cooking
dog.
shows.
Yeah.
Watching cooking
Could be
shows.
watching
Claire Saffitz, if you're
Emergency
listening to
also.
this.
Yeah.
Rock
or-
Stars.
I love
Or
it.
Sunday movies,
Yeah.
or instead you're watching fiddly fine bitches cooking cookie dough. What is
She
your
was making
obsession?
raspberry cobbler.
What is that bitch's name?
Claire Saffitz.
Her name is Sexy Fat Bitch. Quap is all get up. Like, it's not like Paula Jones, or not Paula Jones.
You think Paula Dean's a sexy
Paula
name?
Dean. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's not Paula Dean where she's like, oh, we're going to make this show. Even though she does have the plump. Yeah, it's all, we're going to throw in some extra butter. With the butter. That's my Paula Dean impression. Come on now. But no, it's, I mean, that girl's not bad.
She's gorgeous.
Maybe we need to make a cooking show. It'll be really sad. It'll be like, oatmeal. Open the packet. Do a little emerald on it. Bam.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Hungry Man dinner. Place the microwave for 15 minutes. Eat over sink. Go to bed.
Delicious.
You need the food dehydrator from Back to the Future Part 2. They put the little fucking pizza in there.
Oh, dude, that's actually a good idea. We do a skit.
I
like
would
that.
love
That'd
for
be
that to
fucking
actually
amazing.
exist.
So, Phase 4. Feige got on stage, and they didn't say they were going to say anything at first. They said they were just going to come out and have an Avengers Endgame get-together where everyone kind of talked about Avengers Endgame and just celebrate the fact that it passed whatever billion, zillion Avatar dollars that it has. And,
Right.
And just basically give high fives and hand jobs
It's
to
all
everyone
going
all
to
around,
Disney
right?
anyway.
So, exactly. Feige comes out anyhow, and he's like, okay, fuck that, Phase 4.
Yeah.
Puts it up on the big screen. You didn't read anything about it?
I just saw about Thor: Love and Thunder.
Here's the release dates, okay? First, we get May 1st, 2020, Black Widow, which is not going to be a sequel after Endgame. It's going to take place before Endgame, somewhere between
Budapest.
Civil War. What do you think Budapest is?
I think it's going to be the premise of this movie because they keep bringing it up in the Avengers, Hawkeye and her.
But I thought this was taking place between Infinity War and Endgame.
Well, here's the thing. It takes place in between Civil War and I think Infinity War, possibly. Well, that's interesting if it's between the Snapshot and then the blip coming back. I've heard theories that it's going to tie in somehow with the Eternals that comes out later. And Budapest could be a code word for something that was fucking huge dealing with the Eternals.
Right.
I kind of like that idea, but I also like the idea of just telling her backstory. Because we haven't really heard that yet.
I really don't. I think at this point it's a fucking moot point.
You don't
She's
need that?
dead.
It is kind of nonsensical if it doesn't, but it's got to tie into the greater good somehow.
Or
The only thing I'm guessing, because I'm going by Doctor Strange's movie thing,
The multiverse.
Madness.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that if they're going to keep her on and give her own soul, it's because she's going to be around in the future. And I think that's going to be their loophole to keep Scarlett Johansson.
Or
in the
is the
MCU.
entirety of Phase 4, the entirety of it, a different universe? Does the entirety of Phase 4 take place in some parallel universe?
Well, if you think about
And then the
entirety of
multiverse, Doctor Strange comes in from our universe into their world.
Exactly. And then he goes, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that this could be a victory lap where they go, okay, none of this shit even exists here, and we don't find out for another 2 years? Now, I'll tell you more why I think that plays into it.
Well, just to bounce off that, I really do think you're technically not wrong, because after Endgame, they eventually created a new timeline.
Right.
Right.
So it could just be going on with that timeline in general.
Well, that's what I'm thinking, because...
going with the OG timeline.
Exactly.
Maybe we get a mixture of the two, because the next one we get is the TV show in fall of 2020, Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think it's going to be 8 episode, hour each, run, 8 to 10, I think it is. Bucky, Falcon as... Captain America. And they're bringing back Baron Zemo.
Yep.
From Civil War.
Daniel Bruhl.
And he will be wearing the sock.
The mask. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do we think that's going to be like?
I read something on Comic Book Resource that they're having trouble with it right now. The script isn't like what they want it to be, and it's not the best. So they're like scrambling to get it produced right now. So... I don't know.
I really wish that Marvel would not try to do what DC is trying to do and failing at miserably. Because, with that news, it's kind of like, oof, you're both on the same track here.
Well, I think you need to bring in the Russos, and you need to have them do what they did with the Winter Soldier, and really heavily go on the espionage spy angle of it.
Right.
And use it that way. And I think that's the way, when you create something that feels more like...
Lethal Weapon is what I think they're going to do.
I would be down with that, too, because it is a buddy cop.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
It's kind of like a body
I'm
cop.
sorry that one of the plot points is, the government trying to keep Falcon from being Captain America.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, I read the highlight, and I got called up, a fucking meeting, and I couldn't finish reading the goddamn article.
Oh, okay.
And I never went back to it.
I just want to see them together, and like you said, the buddy comedy aspect of it, because they do play off each other well.
Right.
And you feel like there is animosity between them.
Especially all throughout Civil War.
Now, is this going to be like a one-shot miniseries where it's just one season?
It's only one.
Same thing with WandaVision, right?
Every single one of the Disney shows you're going to see is a miniseries. Will tie into the greater movie universe somehow. So after that, then, we're going to get, in November 6th, 2020, we're going to get the Eternals. They brought out everybody on stage. They brought out Angelina Jolie. They brought out Salma Hayek. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Out of those two, who's more?
Salma
oh, my
Hayek.
God. You think?
Yeah, Salma.
I think so, too.
She's got both her knockers.
But then I see that Jolie lips, and I'm just like, oh, my God. Then they brought out...
Kumail Nanjiani.
There was rumors that Keanu Reeves was going to be in this, but he's not.
The MCU is just horny for Keanu.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, yeah. They're talking about him for Moon Knight.
He needs to be
That would be fucking amazing.
Yeah. Anyhow, they brought him out on stage. Not much is known about this. From my understanding, the Eternals was a very limited run comic in the first place. It's basically Jack Kirby wanted to finish off his New God storyline, and he came over to Marvel and finished it off, basically, with the Eternals. But it's been seeded in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Eternals, since Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
And I believe the Infinity Stones come directly from the Eternals. And I've said
they come from the guys that created the Eternals.
But I believe this leads eventually to Galactus. I think that's where we're heading towards.
Right.
Because of the Celestials and all that.
Right. Which I hope so, because I really don't give a shit about the old Eternals or Celestials in the comic books. I want something more Earth-based and grounded.
Well, I mean, the ending of Far From Home kind of sets up the cosmic stuff. It sets up the sword aspect with Fury vacationing whatever on the Skrull ship. But I think this is their way of saying, we're going galactic with the rest of this.
Right.
And the Eternals, does it take place, you think, in the past? Or does it take place in the present? Or does it matter? Are these characters
It doesn't
immortal?
matter.
Or is it going to set up the villains for Phase 4 or Phase 5? Maybe these characters are their heroes in the Eternals. They turn them all into the villains.
Oh, wow.
I think that'd be kind of cool, where you see the villain origin story.
Yeah, that would be actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good angle. Plus, with Guardians of the Galaxy, we were all just kind of like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I mean, once again, they were playing with their B tier anyhow.
Right.
And then they're going like C tier, and they're like, who gives a shit? And then you see how well that works.
It's like the best movie out of all
Oh,
of
yeah,
them.
it's fucking amazing. So after that, we get February 12th, 2021, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And we are going to get the real Mandarin.
The real Mandarin. Which I think they should bring back Ben Kingsley and just say he was the real Mandarin.
I'm so down with
Well,
that.
because they did a one-off after the movie came
Hail
out.
to
It was
the
like
King?
20 minutes. Yeah, Hail to the King. It was a 20-minute little short about Trevor Slattery. But in the end, it's revealed that he was the Mandarin all along.
Oh, shit.
I would love that.
He's like a double agent.
How do
His
you...
fucking voice was awesome for the Mandarin also.
was.
Yeah.
I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
How do you redo
America.
that? How do you buy it back from Guy Pearce going, I'm the Mandarin?
Yeah.
With like now you're gonna be like, nah, he wasn't. How do you buy that back? Because you can't just delete that out. You
Well-
can't Star Wars Special Edition that.
He could have been the Mandarin's fall guy. You know,
You think it was why
like
Like a
the
cult
Mandarin used his fucking magic to make him a great actor in front of Tony Stark and convince him that he wasn't the Mandarin.
I mean, I feel like there's got to be some sort of retcon in there somehow that they got to go back. I just
There's
don't
a
know how
lot they're
they're
going to
gonna do it.
retcon because of the shit they did in it.
Well, multiverse.
You're fucking right. I was thinking that right before you said that. If this is the multiverse, maybe that shit
can
doesn't
get away
matter.
with that.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Clean slate.
Right.
Clean slate protocol.
Yep.
Clean slate on this too. That'd be fucking amazing. And yes, bring them back. That would be so fucking cool. Next after that, we get Spring 2021 WandaVision. Now, WandaVision, I think this is a play on words. I think they're fucking with people. I don't think this is Wanda in the Vision. This is Wanda's vision. I think she is going to open up the multiverse. I believe in the comics, didn't
House
she
of M?
recreate her life with Vision, and they had like children and stuff like that, and eventually
Yeah.
she just went, fuck it, none of it's real, and it just all disappeared.
Yeah, I think so, actually.
So did
But
she
that's
have-
why he came back as the White Vision?
Yes, that's exactly right. And that's what I'm saying. Maybe she's going to create a reality that somehow breaks realities and opens up the multiverse.
Right.
And that's how we're going to see this happen. Because evidently this is supposed to be like kind of a pseudo-trippy play on everything.
Well, they're really
Sounds like
expanding her witchness in it. Like, they're going to delve deeper into that.
Sounds like
and
it's
how
like
she-
the plot point for Spider-Verse from the Kingpin's perspective.
Well, I feel like, you remember in Natural Born Killers, which ties into what we're going to talk about?
Yeah.
How Oliver Stone took the beginning family thing and filmed it like,
Like
there
a
was...
sitcom.
But there were dark undertones.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's going to be something like that, something very surreal. Because that movie has that, where it's telling the backstory, and then it heads into more reality.
And this has Robert Downey Jr. dying.
Yeah, Natural Born
Oh, that
Killers.
movie does. Yeah. All right, nice. I like that at the end.
This
Oh,
bloody Australian accent.
so fucking good. He was awesome in that movie.
He was.
But I feel like it's going to be something like that, because there's been talk about it taking place throughout time and having different feels for each episode.
Yeah.
So maybe it is some kind of weird trip that she's on. I mean, I'd like to see something like that, something a little
Yeah.
bit more experimental and kind of fucks with everything.
She's one of the most powerful characters in the MCU right
fuck
now.
yeah.
Like, I mean, they don't even expound upon that at all.
They
So,
don't
I mean,
even tap like the tip of the iceberg of just how strong that character actually fucking is.
and I think she's just now starting to find out since Endgame. Because
I mean-
you've seen her powers get progressively stronger throughout. Is it in Ultron that she's holding up Sokovia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of
yeah.
Endgame, she's like, she shows up and she's like, "You took everything from me." He goes, "I don't even know who you are."
will.
And she's
Right.
like, "Motherfucker," and she rains down on him. Like,
Well,
it's crazy.
In Infinity War, she's fucking destroying all those giant rolling fucking battle droid things like they were nothing, and then all of a sudden she
Yeah.
can't even hold back
And think about it,
Thanos.
she destroyed an Infinity Stone
Yeah.
while holding back Thanos with 5 Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how fucking strong this broad is.
Yeah.
And them titties are rocking too.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh my god.
Goddamn Kaylin Olsen. I remember when she fucked her dad Thanos in that movie Old Boy.
Yeah, that was God. I was confused, but still jerking off.
Yeah.
It was one of those confused jerks. Like,
Yeah.
am I okay?
If
with
you
this?
just mute it and turn off the captions, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm
you
good.
don't have to hear any of that.
So after that, we're going to get Loki in spring of 2021, which they seeded in Endgame with Loki taking the Tesseract and disappearing.
Jumping into a different dimension.
Once again, probably going to be dealing with the multiverse. And so that's why I'm like, is this all multiverse shit? Like, are they
It has
fucking
to
with
be.
us, right?
Right, it has to be.
What do we want to see from the Loki series? Do we want to see him go back throughout the movies like we already did with Endgame? Do we want to see more of that time traveling into the different things, him making changes? Is there any expectation? Do we want to see Thor in this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Thor should have some spots in it. But I don't know how they're going to pull this off and what they're trying to achieve with it. Are they going to go for a comic route, comedy-wise? Or are they going to make it a straight-up action? How does this work?
Do we get to see more of what happened beforehand when he was kind of working with Thanos in the background?
Maybe.
Earlier?
You think Loki or Hiddleston both can helm their own
Fuck yeah.
thing by themselves?
Oh, fuck yeah, dude. Hiddleston's the shit. I think he can handle. I think he sold Loki as that villain. I think he's better in the first movie than Chris Hemsworth is. I think that he is, honestly, their second greatest villain now.
Yeah.
But still, he was the greatest villain for a long time. And no one gave a fuck about Loki. That guy carried that character into a place that made him amazing.
Yeah.
True.
So I think that he can definitely do it. But after this, May 21st of some year, I guess, 2021, we get what we keep talking about, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And they're coining this as the first Marvel horror movie. Yeah. What does that mean? They're saying this is going to be
Oh, that
an
was a
all-out
TV show,
movie.
sorry.
What were you thinking?
What was that fucking Marvel thing where the trailer is very horror movie-ish?
It was fucking New Mutants.
New Mutants?
That's what I was wondering.
Was that a TV show or a movie?
No, that was a movie that just never came out.
It hasn't come out. They pushed back the release date, Now there's questioning if they're going to just outright cancel it. There's been talk of just throwing it on Hulu and
But
say,
it's been
fuck it, here we
filmed.
go. I know, but All kinds of shit's filmed that disappears. It's just one of those things where, are they going to just make it disappear completely? Or will they release it? Or will they try to make back their money? After seeing how bad Dark Phoenix did, I highly doubt that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I think the X-Men franchise is dead on that. I think that it's interesting that they're saying this is going to be the first Marvel horror movie, though. What does that mean? Like, is this going to be like a gory fucking rated R horror movie? Or is it just going to have a creepy vibe? Or
I think it's going to be like
creepy
a
vibe, like the
creepy
fucking
vibe
Sixth
thing.
Sense or something.
like The Grudge or The Ring or something like that?
Right.
Ooh, that's kind of crazy. Think about that. Like having that vibe. Sitting in the theater with the kids going around going,
I think that'll be kind of weird for a Doctor Strange movie.
They're saying they're going straight horror movie. So I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
And if you watch
I like the idea.
the trippy scene where he trips out for the first time, he gets astral projected across the universe. It's just kind of freaky, man. I'm pretty sure if I was on something, I'd be like,
I saw that scene high. I was like, oh.
Yeah, did it make you go like...
Like, it triggered a panic attack. Like, I legit had a panic attack.
God damn, dude. Also, Wanda is going to be in this, too.
Co-starring.
Yes, exactly. So that's why I also think maybe her series deals with parallel universes already. And she comes out of it, and she's like, come on, come join me, come see this shit. And then they go and do that.
That'd be
What if
awesome.
it's like the type of horror thing where, like, you may be right, where she creates the multiverse and shit, or opens like the doorways between all the multiverses and shit, and it's kind of like a Return to Oz kind of horror type, where it's like through the Looking Glass shit.
Are you saying, like, she's the villain, and he goes there, and everything's different?
And like, what if he's got to save her and try to bring her back to reality, get her
Because
back into
everything
her
there
right
is
mind
fucking
and shit?
creepy and not normal.
That's good. That's kind of like what's that movie? Cell?
Yeah.
Not Cell.
Yeah.
Is it Cell?
Yeah,
Am I
it's
thinking-
The Cell with Jennifer Lopez and Vincent
Yeah,
D'Onofrio.
where she has to go in and like convince him not to do this, and it's just
Yeah.
creepy, weird shit everywhere.
That's how it could be a
Yeah.
I
horror.
kind of like that.
When
a
the
lot.
fucking glass dropped through the horse and it
Yeah,
split it
dude.
open, you can see its fucking organs and shit, and its heart still pumping inside.
Oh yeah, that whole
I
movie.
mean, because
is
think
like,
about it,
what the
out of
fuck?
the aftermath of Endgame,
I love
if anybody
movies like
has
that.
one
Yeah, me
right to
too.
go fucking mad,
But I love it. Like I can
would
think.
be fucking wit.
All right, the
Widow.
Cell. You're
Witch.
right. How about
Witch.
What Dreams May Come, wherever he has to go back into hell to save his wife.
Yeah.
How trippy shit gets.
That movie's still not scary.
The movie Arcade. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but
Yeah.
I will stick by that movie forever. Where she has to go in the game and it's the adventure. What you're saying, the Labyrinth, Wizard of Oz, the kind of the adventure to get to the main place and save whoever it is. I want to fucking see that. That is badass.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that we need that.
Yes.
That would be so good. And have, like you said, have her lose her mind throughout WandaVision and then come back around to this and be like somebody's going to go in and get her.
That'd be fucking awesome.
Fucking sign me up. Holy shit.
Just wrote a better.
Yeah,
Make it happen,
we're just going to
Disney.
get them holding hands.
You haven't even filmed it yet.
We got this, Disney. We got this. All right. Well, playing on that, summer 2021, we'll get the What If series on Disney Plus, which is going to be the animated series with the guy from Westworld, Jeffrey Wright's going to be playing the Watcher, and he's going to tell stories of the other
The deadpan
versions.
comedian?
The more we talk about this,
No. He was the bad guy in Shaft. He's also.
he's in what's that movie that Zoe Bowie made? Fucking On the Train with Jake Gyllenhaal.
You're thinking of Stephen Wright.
That's what I'm thinking of. Oh, I love that Jake Gyllenhaal train movie.
Source Code.
Source Code.
That fucking ending.
And then he
was
wakes up in the
fucked
fucking
up.
Matrix.
So good, dude.
And he's like missing limbs and shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie's so good.
It was
though.
so sad.
So they're going to do the What If, which is all going to be animated. I'm putting two together. I think all of this is multiverse shit. I think that theory actually holds up. Because the What If series is going to be alternative takes on stuff.
Right.
And it's going to be animated, but have all the cast from the movies back for the show. I'm intrigued to see how it's animated. Is it all going to be like the Animatrix, where they choose different
That's
things?
what I was
It's
going to
gonna
say.
be-
Love, Death, and Robots.
Dude,
Let's do
I think
it
that's
like
the
that.
way to go, right?
Yeah.
Have different animation styles. And,
Yeah.
And let people do the short. Well, not
It would
shorts.
also make more sense in a multiverse as opposed to just being one style. So
Fuck
that
yeah.
every other one signifies that it's in a different dimension.
And you know it can work because you look at Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, some of those characters are animated completely differently, yet
Yeah.
they still fit into that multiverse. Like, what are you thinking, Hobbs, the animation expert over
I
here?
think that's gonna be dope. I was thinking about like how you said, what if they're all like different multiverses and shit? Have you noticed that when you're describing everything so far on the list, only the fucking TV shows, the one that have a miniseries, have to deal with the multiverse? Like, I wonder if the
that's right.
movies don't have to deal with the multiverse as much as they just
But
kinda
they
like,
have to because...
Like, what if they're like their movie's not about like the multiverse, just like the effects of the multiverse?
But if you look at this, every single movie we've actually mentioned actually could play into the multiverse. We put it on Front Street with Black Widow saying,
Right.
maybe this takes place somewhere else. And then the Eternals, maybe that's the whole reason. Something happens in the Eternals that shakes up the whole universe. in the future.
Or the movie's gonna be the main timeline.
Maybe. But then you get to Doctor Strange, and then you know it's the multiverse because it says the multiverse of madness.
Right.
True.
So I'm wondering if all of the fourth phase is just multiverse shit. But then we're going to get the Hawkeye series, which whatever. I don't have anything to say about that. It's Hawkeye. How do you guys
It's
feel
going to
about
be
that?
his daughter, I bet.
Yeah, he's going to be having a protege that he's training. And it would make sense, like you said before, in Endgame, he's training his daughter.
He even calls her Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah? So, boom, done.
Yeah.
And then what do you think that story is?
Just cheesy action adventure.
I'm down with that.
Yeah.
And then, after that, we get the one that I'm excited about and the one you guys are excited about. Thor, Love, and Thunder. Yeah.
Just that name gets me excited.
Yeah.
How about that
Logo looks great.
Who doesn't want that on a t-shirt? I want
Right.
that on a t-shirt, dude. It harkens back to the AC/DC logo almost from the
Yeah,
80s.
a little bit.
It's got that 70s, 80s rock feel. And for me, bringing back Princess Amidala
Yeah.
to play female Thor,
Matilda.
I think they're going to go even further. I think we're going to get all the different versions of the Thor. And didn't you guys say you wanted that? There's like one version of Thor that you kept.
Throg.
I want to see Throg. But who's the big one with the big mouth?
Beta Ray Bill.
Yes.
Beta Ray Bill.
I think
I
we get-
think Beta Ray Bill's going to be in it also.
Do you think if they open the multiverse, that opens the option for the Thor series? And then you got Fat Thor running around, right? And all of a sudden, smoking hot Jane shows up as Thor, and he's like trying to get her, there's so much room for jokes in there.
Right.
There's so much room. And I want Thick Thor. I want that
Yeah.
character back. I think that you need to stay with him. Or do we get the Guardians of the Galaxy as Guardians of the Galaxy in this? Do you
That
think-
would make the most sense because if they've already said that Part 3 isn't going to come out in Phase 4.
Right.
It's going to be Phase 5. So how can you leave off where we left with Thor? Unless they show him in the Loki series after the events.
Is Love and Thunder after the What If series?
It's after everything. It's the last movie. Yeah, so you bring in all these characters from the multiverse. You just have this crazy space adventure. Maybe have the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Every incarnation of Thor is there.
Exactly. Maybe you get rid of a couple of the Guardians of the Galaxy and you just have Rocket and Groot in this.
Yeah.
And you make it a crazy space adventure with crazy space creatures just like Ragnarok.
Peter Quill and Thor have to get his hammer back from Jane Foster.
That would be fucking sick. Like any scenario that you throw at me with Taika Waititi allowing that craziness,
Right.
I'm so fucking there. And,
Of course.
And we're all on board 100%, and I want that t-shirt.
Yeah.
I want that Love and Thunder t-shirt. Like, that'd be so badass. I just got so pumped over like 3 of those movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, before I was just like, oh, but then the theories started coming in. I'm like, fuck yeah.
What I like about this multiverse thing, this shit's gonna get so fucking convoluted when they try to connect it.
I can't wait.
They could just be like, oh, fucking multiverse, shut the fuck up, move on.
I'm fucking so down with that. Then, at the end, the lights go down, and all of a sudden, Mahershala Ali walks out, and he puts on a hat, and it says Blade on it.
Yeah.
And they throw it up on the big screen. 2 things. Number 1, he was on Luke Cage, the TV show.
Yes.
Who was?
So, that automatically probably says that TV show is
Oh,
not...
Marvel already said, have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's out the door. Secondly, do they do it PG-13 or do they do it rated R?
You're gonna have to go fucking R for Blade.
You know they're going to make it PG-13, though, if it's under the MCU.
Well, I wonder if this Doctor Strange 2 is going to be PG-13 or rated R. You're saying it's going to be a horror. So are they going to go hardcore? Or are they going to say, fuck it,
that's what I'm saying. It'll be a horror, but
it's gonna be like creepy horror. They can't,
like
do
Signs
blood
was
and
a
shit.
PG-13 movie. The Village was a PG-13 movie. Sixth Sense.
Do you think everything has changed to the point where they could go bloody, gory, kind of like the beginning of the first Blade, where the blood pours? Like, can they do that in the ashing? Does that really count? Is that
Right.
hyper-violent and
They can
requires
do
an
that in
R
the
rating?
ashing.
Or now are we so kind of used to that level of violence where you can still do that? The original Blade, could it be PG-13 without the cursing and stuff like that?
No.
No? Are you interested in seeing a PG-13 Blade?
No. Just like I'll be interested in seeing a fucking PG-13
I just got to see what
Deadpool.
they do with it. I can't say for certain, but yeah, I mean, I don't want to see it. I want to see a rated R version, the way it should be.
How does that character play into the wider MCU also?
I think they said this is just going to be a one-off. I don't think it has anything to do to tie in.
Really?
Yeah, but Marvel likes to pull the rug out from under us a lot, so...
I mean, with the fucking multiverse shit, they could, essentially, put in fucking vampires, just throw them in.
I mean, honestly, if you go that route, if Doctor Strange is supposed to be a horror movie...
What if in one of the universes he deals with vampires?
I was going to say Morbius, and it brings together the Night Stalkers and shit. That's probably how that's going to open the door for the Night Stalkers.
Do you think this opens the door for Marvel Zombies?
Maybe. That would be dope.
If you're saying we're opening, we've already dealt with terrestrial creatures, we've dealt with intergalactic creatures, now we need to deal with spiritual creatures?
Yeah.
Does this open up the ideas of hell and Hades and this and that?
Ghost Rider.
Yep.
Dude, I'm
what's
so
that?
fucking down with
Is
that.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. technically part of the MCU?
Yes, they're
Yeah.
not going to
then Ghost Rider's
They
right.
can't delete that out. But that version of Ghost Rider wasn't the primary Ghost Rider.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
not
like
Johnny
second or
Blaze.
Third,
the-
third tier.
that's the third one.
Third tier Ghost Rider.
Danny Ketch would be the one who they probably go with.
So, right now, we do know tentative Phase 5. Blade, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, most likely Fantastic Four, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Is the next 2-year run, is that only Phase 4, or is it just the first half of Phase 4?
I think it's just got to be Phase 4.
You think
Keep
that's
that shit
it?
short. Don't
Yeah.
drag out the phases.
Yeah, I think they kind of feel like they put too much in Phase 3 this last time.
Right. Because how many years was that? 3 or 4 year run?
Yeah, something like that.
And then, like I said, man, I really do feel like this is the multiverse fucking year.
Yeah.
And even on top of that, I kind of want to play into another idea, too. Where is Deadpool fall into this?
He shouldn't.
Well, they've already said that he's coming Phase 5. Here's what I think is going to happen, and here's my theory.
I want to destroy this theory, by the way. Because I don't like this idea.
Okay,
but
so...
keep going.
All right,
I'm
Javi,
sorry.
here's my theory, okay? Spider-Man, Deadpool. I think that they want to see those two characters interact. My theory that I told you guys the other day, and we came up together with Mike, is you open up the Mojoverse. You create that alternate universe reality TV show, and somehow you pull Spider-Man into that, and somehow you pull Deadpool into that. And that allows you to have an ultra-violent Deadpool within the Marvel Cinematic Universe because he's not killing people, but
Yeah.
he is able to kill space aliens of all sorts and
Right.
demons and this and that, where you can get away with it, kind of like in Thor Ragnarok, where you have like these creatures that technically exist, but like, I mean, if they would have torn
Right.
them limb by limb, you wouldn't have cared.
Yeah,
You
the
would
same
have-
thing with the creatures on Wakanda and Infinity
Exactly.
War, yeah.
You don't care. You just see
Yeah.
like things getting killed left and right. I think that opens up the possibility of Deadpool, and it also opens up the idea of the Spidey symbiote. Because in the comics we talked about before, Deadpool walks into a room, sees the symbiote, and goes, "Oh fuck no, I can't do that. I'm already bad enough."
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man would get it, and you go back to the Running Man idea.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. And people want to see Spider-Man and Deadpool together. And this is how you trick Sony into giving you Spider-Man for a longer period of time. You say,
Right.
okay, you want more money? Here's how we do it.
Yeah.
We provide an opening, bring Deadpool into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Everyone wants to see this team up. So that's how you get that. Plus, we do our Spider-Man Venom symbiote.
I mean, it sounds like a win-win.
I would love to see it, but I just want to see shit get
But they
crazier
said
and bigger.
they've got Tom Holland locked on to do 9 Spider-Man movies now.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
Fuck it. Tear it apart, Javi. Go ahead.
Alright, makes a lot of sense, but then again, you think about the fourth wall breaks, the language, that
Okay.
would have bothered me.
Okay, so you do...
So he's on a TV show, though,
What-
so they
what
bleep
movie?
out the F word.
What movie? What movie? Is it Stallone and, whether in the future? Fucking Stallone and...
Oh,
Judge
yeah.
Dredd.
No, not Judge Dredd.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Gets fined every time.
Every time he swears, you do a callback to that. So every time he tries to swear, you hear a beat. And that's what he makes him even madder, and he goes on a tirade. They even said, if you watch Once Upon a Deadpool, and it's even in the trailer, but he says, he goes, this is an experiment to see if it works for Disney. It was fine. I want to see the rated R Deadpool.
Right.
But if we're going to have a mismatch and we need to bring him in and at least do something with him, this is your version of it. Plus, it allows you to say, he's always kind of been like outside the reality of the X-Men franchise, and
Yeah.
the Fox franchises. So it gives you that chance to continue to play with that fourth wall break. I think that would really fucking
Makes
work.
sense.
I think that's your
I like it.
Javi, you want to tear apart again? That's my rant.
I just know where I stand on it.
Where do you stand on it? Just
He doesn't
Don't
belong
want
in
to
the MCU.
see Deadpool in a PG-13 movie.
Never.
well, also Bob Iger has said he will allow for rated R Deadpool.
There we
So
go.
I doubt that's
That's
going to
better.
happen though. I would really like to see
They probably just
That
run it
fucking
under.
runs Disney, though.
I literally built that up so much in my head.
They'd
Anything
probably
else
just-
is going to suck.
They probably just run it under Buena Vista Productions instead of Disney.
Fuck yeah, like they used to do back in the day
Yeah.
with like The Nightmare Before Christmas and shit
Right.
like that. It was just like, we'll put it under this.
Yeah.
Touchstone. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Throw it under Touchstone or Miramax or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember when you put that together finally? You're like, wait a second. This motherfucking... And then you look at the map at Disneyland, it's like
Yeah.
Buena Vista Lake or something like that. I'm
Yeah.
like, you sons of bitches.
Right.
As soon as we get to Hollywood and find those Miramax fucks.
Hey, speaking of which, the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob reboot came out. What'd you guys think of that trailer?
Oh, it's fucking great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hobbs?
Yeah.
I love that they're unapologetic about it being a fucking pretty much direct remake
Absolutely.
of it. The Red Band trailer, Kevin Smith talking about it is like, I want to show all the fucking good parts. I don't give a fuck. Just make this shit look awesome. And he's like, in the tusk, he couldn't show the actual creature in the tusk for the previews because it would take away everything. He's like, man, if I would have done that, everybody would have come to watch it.
So he's like, throw it all out there.
Yep.
Donnell being in the beginning of that, I thought
yeah.
that was fucking awesome.
Know that guy.
And then on top of that, seeing Matt Damon and Ben Affleck both back. And
right.
He tells an amazing story about how he reached out to Ben Affleck and how it's kind of fixed their friendship. Yeah. But the Matt Damon thing was the one that really made me happy because he is Loki from Dogma. As everyone who's a fan of Kevin Smith knows, Loki died at the end of that movie.
Right.
And it was tragic. How is he back, number one? Number two, Kevin Smith has already said it wasn't his idea. He was going to have him play himself again and do another play on the Good Will Hunting thing.
Right.
But his wife said, have him be Loki and have him come in and do that. And then number three, I didn't make this connection, but he plays Loki in Ragnarok.
Right. Yeah. That play.
And I remember reading that today and going, shit, I thought that was familiar. Why is that familiar? Is that an inside joke in Ragnarok that he plays Loki again?
It could be.
Maybe so.
Because
Tom Hiddleston's in this movie also, I believe.
Well,
because he's got Chris Hemsworth also.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because Hemsworth credited Kevin Smith with changing the face of Thor for that, and he said because he heard him on a podcast say Thor's boring, basically. He goes, I don't want to be the boring character. So was that a little callback back to him, where they're like, we'll get Matt Damon to come in and do this? And also, does that make Matt Damon unable to do anything else in that universe, ever?
I don't know, man. He was the redneck in Deadpool 2, also. Him and Alan Tudyk.
Maybe he's the replacement Stan Lee, where he always has a cameo and everything as a disguised character. And then he's the chameleon.
Maybe he's actually Mystique.
Ooh, I don't want to see that. Ew. Oh, the other thing I want to say is Kevin Smith has kind of said what his TV series that him and Mark Bernard are working on. I don't know if I told you guys this. I think I was going to bring it up in the podcast and I forgot. They had talked about they were working on a series and they were working for a really cool person. Pretty quickly I put together, it's probably the Arrowverse, and I think they're working on a Suicide Squad TV show.
Oh, wow.
And they have admitted that they are working for DC. He accidentally outed it in the last Fat Man and Batman. I just want to say that on record right now, before it comes out, I think it's Suicide Squad TV show. So if I'm
That'd
right...
be fucking awesome.
If I'm right, that would be fucking amazing, wouldn't it be? Because the reason he got involved with that whole universe was seeing King Shark on Arrow.
Yeah.
That would be so great if they let him play with the villains. And say, you have free reign, do what you want.
Right.
I would like that. I think actually that would get me to watch, because I don't watch any
of it. Is it going to be for the DCE or for like a Smallville type
for the
DC
TV shows.
show?
For the Arrowverse. For the Flareoverse. For the Arrow, Flash, Supergirl.
I don't watch any of that, but it's going to be on like a TV network then.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Would you like to
Just
see
doesn't want to have to purchase another streaming service.
No, I would watch that, but I've seen the shit show that happened with the streaming service, and I wouldn't want that to happen on this one.
Oh, you're saying for the actual DC streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably going to disband soon. Didn't we talk about it on the podcast? Wouldn't it be smart for Netflix
just to
buy that up?
Yeah.
Just say, we're taking all this. Because they lost their Marvel properties. There's a foundation for them doing that. They should just pick all that up. I don't know about you guys, but my Netflix always wants me to watch The Flash. And it always wants me to watch Arrow. So, and it does not want me to watch Daredevil or Jessica Jones or any of that shit. I think that could happen. I really do.
I just can't get into those CW DC shows for some reason.
Smallville was good, but I watched that like from the beginning, like while it was on air. Like I caught the new episodes and shit.
It was on for so long.
I know. I think I was like 12 when it first started.
Damn.
Maybe 13, 14.
Smallville?
Smallville.
Smallville?
I've been drinking.
Snarf. I wasn't 12, I was 18 whenever it came out.
Yeah. The other comic book thing I want to talk about that's not Marvel news, and the last thing we'll talk about in this, The Boys. I've watched it. Javi has watched it. Have you seen any of it yet?
I've seen previews for it. I want to watch it.
It is in my top 5 for this year of things I've seen. I would say it's probably my second favorite thing I've seen.
For me, it's top 3 as well.
Yeah, I would say my top 3 right now is going to be Endgame, The Boys, Stranger Things Season 3. That's my top 3. This show is so fucking good. They sold the violence aspect of it, but it really isn't that violent once you get into it. The story and the characters. Fucking Dennis Quaid's and Meg Ryan's son.
Yeah, Jack
is
Quaid.
Fucking amazing, dude. I was like, why does this kid look familiar to me? Because he has some of the mannerisms of his father.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this kid is fucking good. And then Smoking Hot McHot Pants, the blonde girl, she's amazing. And then the villain, Homelander, If that guy doesn't win an Emmy, I'm going to be shocked.
Like Ozymandias type?
He's basically Superman.
Yeah.
He's like the red Superman.
Okay.
He is unbelievably fucking good. His acting is so, I don't know what to say. Like, he looks like Chris Pine. Did you think that the whole time you were watching
No,
it?
he looks like a...
He's
like an older Chris Pine.
He's like an older... My point has been proven!
He's just an odd-looking dude. He's just straight up odd.
No, dude. Like, the charisma and all that, like, the way he holds himself, it's Superman. He is Superman. But he's
like a sociopathic Superman.
It's amazing, dude. And the way he plays that character is so sublime. And the same thing with Huey, played by Jack Quaid, is so sublime. And Carl Urban, he's
the shit.
He's the badass you want to be.
Yeah.
He's and like, it never falters. You never see him breaking it. Dude, it's unbelievable. Like, and he's got his accent. He's got like a Cockney accent. And just everything about that show works. Some of it's over the top. Some of the acting is ridiculously stupid. There are moments in it where you're like, really? That would fucking happen? But the characters, you get so attached. Like, I cannot wait for season 2. I think it's going to be, and I haven't really read anything yet. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but I think it's going to be the breakout hit of the year. It's definitely the new Game of Thrones. Definitely. It's the new Stranger Things. I think that once people start seeing it, which they will, I think Amazon has a hit on their fucking hands.
Yeah. They got a massive hit on their hands.
And the ending, I'm ready for season 2. That's all more I'm going to say.
Oh,
How about you? I can't wait for you to see it so you can join in. And oh, dude, there's what's her name? Elizabeth Shue? Oh, this is my last piece of news. Bruce Lee's daughter is unhappy with his Once Upon a Time in Hollywood portrayal.
Yeah.
I have not seen this movie, and neither has Javi, but Jake, you have seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. How did you feel about it?
Easily one of the best Tarantino movies out there.
What about
soundtrack was amazing. Just the way it's shot. There's a lot of callbacks to a lot of old TV shows. The guy that they got to play Bruce Lee was fucking Bruce Lee. I don't know if y'all seen him in any of the previews or the way he talks. He sounds just like him, talks just like him, moves just like him.
Yeah.
It's really good. I don't know what else to say. I can't.
Is it comparable to any of his other movies? Does it have a linear?
Let's say he rewrites history again.
Okay, so the same way in Glorious Bastards, he rewrote history. He does in this one.
And yes, there's plenty of callbacks. Yeah, there's a bunch of different flashbacks in it. It's fucking awesome.
So is it kind of more like Pulp Fiction in the way that it's structured, or is it more like Glorious Bastards, or is it...
more like Inglourious.
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Where it's linear, but there are a lot of different character moments.
Right.
And there's multiple things happening at
Correct.
once.
Are there any like little things that will connect it to his other movies in this one?
Red Apple cigarettes.
That's about it?
I'm sure there's more that I didn't catch, but...
Does the Sharon Tate, other than the murders, which they don't show, they probably just show it like leading up to him, I guess. Other than that, they just have probably flashes of her to show the glam of the 60s, right? That's what I figured they would do, because her story in a lot of ways does parallel the idea of stardom. You know, like she was really in a lot of ways a nobody who came up quickly and married a director who was coming up quickly, and her story is tragic. And I imagine the same thing with the Manson. Like, I knew immediately when they said the Spawn Ranch, if they're filming a Western, that would make sense for these characters to be there. Right. And because that's what that ranch was used for. Exactly. It was a movie set. So it makes sense that those characters would be there. So I thought that was kind of cool that they were doing that. And to have it tell a story of a struggling actor and his friend who is a stunt double or whatever he is. My one question is, Kurt Russell, is he Stuntman Mike?
No.
Ah, damn it.
I wish he was.
That would have been so great.
No, he plays a character named Randy, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Randy?
Yeah.
Is he in the movie for long, or is everyone just kind of like a glorified cameo? Like I said, it's like Pulp Fiction, where all
it's more like a glorified cameo.
I can tell it's hard for you to not want to tell us what happened.
Yeah, seriously, but you just had to see it.
You've seen it twice.
Yeah.
Did it get better on the second viewing?
Yes, just as good, if not better.
If you could have, would you have gone half hour after seeing it the first time to go watch it again?
Yeah, probably, like I did with
Endgame and multiple other movies. Jake, you are truly a cinemaphile. Yeah. You really do enjoy movies.
Right. Jew movies, yeah.
You Jew movies. Yeah.
I like movies made by Jews, yes.
All right, let's talk about some Tarantino. We'll just get into our experiences with his movies. For me, I feel like he is the director of that generation, Generation X. He is the one that brought the most to the table. Yeah. And he created a new style of filmmaking that I think will go with your hatred of him, Javi.
Why do you think I hate Tarantino?
I don't know why, but you seem like you have some anger and aggression towards him, because he does remix. He is the hip-hop artist of the filmmaking world, where he takes things from here, 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 and here, and uses them. Now, most people do that. Most people look at different things and they go, I like this, I like this, I like this. That's basic storytelling. Everyone's basically retelling their creation myth and the Jesus myth and this and that. I'm not saying Jesus is a myth. I'm just saying that storyline over and over again.
I'm saying that.
But I think that he is the cinematic version of that, where he takes little bits and he samples and he samples and he samples and he creates something new out of it.
Cinematic Jesus?
Well, I mean, his films are pretty fucking good.
Yeah, they are pretty godly.
I would say a lot of his movies changed the game, and he's the only filmmaker I know could put out a movie like the one he just put out, which is a Tarantino film that's probably going to make money.
Oh, yeah.
Most of that stuff would be considered independent film and go direct.
My parents went and saw it today.
That's what I'm saying. With normal movies like that, if somebody released something like that, that's a Netflix or a Hulu now.
Yeah.
Or maybe direct to DVD or an obscure movie that we would tell each other about and go, you need to see this.
Right.
He's the only one who can do a Tarantino film and actually make money.
Right.
For me, though, I do think that he hits pretty much every time.
Yeah.
How about you, Jake?
Yeah.
I know you're a huge fan.
Oh, fuck yeah. I don't know why Javi hates him.
Why is everyone so mad at Tarantino?
Do you? All right.
You didn't like The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I hate one fucking movie, and all of a sudden I fucking hate Tarantino.
Yeah.
You hate Tarantino.
I don't...
Let's put it on Front Street. How do you feel about...
Shit. Sorry, Dad.
Oh, no, wait. He hates us.
Yeah. Because you didn't turn off your phone.
I just did it now.
All right. How do you feel about Tarantino movies?
I like his movies.
Okay. What was the first Tarantino movie you guys saw?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah?
But as soon as it came out to video, pretty much.
Right. VHS.
Yeah, I was like 13.
What did you think when you saw that movie for the first time?
I thought it was fucking awesome, and then it got weird whenever Marcellus Wallace was getting raped in the basement.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this movie's fucking insane.
Right.
And then, yeah, I don't know. Then I was like, well, I might as well see what the other ones are all about. Well,
Right.
There was only one at the time, Reservoir Dogs.
Right.
So I watched that shortly after. It was really good.
And out of those, which one do you like the best, do you think? At the
Probably
time?
Pulp Fiction, because it was my first experience with them.
Right.
I don't know.
Changed the game.
Yeah.
And it really did. I mean, you look at Pulp Fiction, it was a movie that defined the 90s in a lot of ways, made independent film very successful, made Miramax super fucking successful.
Started Travolta's Renaissance, kind of.
Oh, absolutely. Travolta went away for a long time, almost like Keanu Reeves, disappeared for 10, 15 years. And then he pulled him back from obscurity and made him viable again, you know? What was your first Tarantino movie?
Pulp Fiction. I was about 6 or 7. And I was at playing with my cousin at my uncle's house when we were all playing. I was walking through and like, oh, this movie looks interesting. Bruce Willis, that's John McClane. I know that guy. And all of a sudden, there's Zed, and then they like, get the Gimp. And he starts doing that on Gimp's head. And my mom goes, Jay, you need to leave now. I was like, what? What's a Gimp? What's going to happen?
Were they carting the TV out of the room?
And then
Did you see the way he was pointing at it? Like it was one of those teacher trays back in the day?
I remember my uncle says, Jay, you gotta leave. And then he like grabs me by the back of my neck. He's like, come on. I was like, what's happening? What's going to happen?
He's leading them.
He was the gimping them. He was tapping. I think Pulp Fiction was my first Tarantino movie too.
For the record, Pulp Fiction's my favorite.
I don't think it's my favorite, but I love Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I think that was my first, but I really couldn't place it. I think Reservoir Dogs I saw quickly after that. I like both of those movies.
Yeah.
Almost on the same level. They're very different while having the same mafia feel because a little bit of the setting.
Right.
The crime feel of the early 90s, which he basically brought into vogue at the time. Pulp Fiction is a masterpiece. I will not deny that. I think, though, for me, the movie that really set it off and made me just, like, fucking love Tarantino would have to be Kill Bill.
Oh, yeah.
Has to be. I was so fucking excited for that movie.
Well, so was I, because we're coming off of Jackie Brown, which was a good movie, but it was, by damn sight, not his best. It's probably his worst film. And it just dragged and dragged.
Right.
And finally you see he's doing some fucking action shit, and you're like, oh, this is going to be the tits.
Oh, and it was. I mean, I think the first one I saw on DVD, but I fucking loved that movie. And I think the second, Volume 2, is the stronger portion of that. Ooh. I think that it's so much better than the first one.
Hot take.
Hot take. Yeah. I think as a full piece, though, it is amazing. And you can watch it as a full piece.
That's how I prefer to watch it.
And there's a scene in between with Michael Jai White that was added in the...
Damo.
Yes, exactly, dude. And also, the whole big controversy at the time was the black and white, the House of Leaves, where they cut out all the Technicolor blood and gore and stuff like that.
That's so it could get not an NC-17.
So you get a rated R rating. Yeah, so you get it rated R. And for me, I remember that being the controversy, but I remember that scene being so badass, even in black and white.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't fucking matter.
Right.
It felt like it was made for that.
Right. Yeah, it was a great cut.
And the vengeance story, dude, the list, everything, the way it kind of jumped around like Pulp Fiction did, I really liked it. Now, I didn't know that people like Volume 1 better than Volume 2 until right now.
Oh, that's a major thing.
Is that really? Why do I like Volume 2? You know why? I know why I like Volume 2 better. Because of the casket and the burying her in the grave. I think that scene is so terrifyingly well done. And seeing it in a theater with surround sound and hearing the dirt fall on the grave.
Right.
And just that moment of pure darkness in a theater.
Then it cuts to her training with Pai Mei, which is fucking crucial also.
Awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the very definition of the remix. He literally took a modern character and took everything else he likes.
Yeah.
And he put her into it and said, all right, here's the movie.
It's a mashup.
And I mean, Pai Mei is literally from other Kung Fu movies.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good. I apologize again on the rant about that.
No.
I just think Kill Bill is his masterpiece. And there's talk now, he talked about it then, and there's talk again that Kill Bill Volume 3 could be made. And I would love to see that. And he even said when he was filming Kill Bill, he's like, I should go film some scenes with the girl.
Vivica A. Fox.
Vivica A. Fox. I should go film scenes with her daughter now so I have them for in the future.
Right.
And I remember him saying that in an interview, and I'm like, fucking do it. That's genius.
Yeah.
And it's been about the right amount of time for that movie to be made. What does that look like?
I don't know, man.
I want to see that.
Of course I want to see it. I thought he was wanting to do the Star Trek movie next.
Well, yeah, there's still talk of that, too. I like the loophole idea. And if you look at his filmography, it doesn't add up to 10 films anyhow. So fuck you and your 10 films, Tarantino.
Right.
Make movies until you croak.
Honestly, Kill Bill really made me want to see an anime directed by Tarantino.
Oh, because of the animated scene.
Just animated scene that he did.
Scene, isn't there?
There's 2 sequences. I think it's just like all one big long one for like 5 minutes. And holy fuck, was that shit beautiful.
Yeah.
The whole movie is fucking unbelievably good. I mean, it's terrifying. You don't even see what she does to that girl. You just see her sitting in the chair, but you know. Oh, I guess you do see. Never mind. I'm a fucking idiot. You get to see her chop off the shit.
her arms.
Fuck, I want to watch Kill Bill so bad right now. All right. Oh, also, Natural Born Killers and 4 Rooms. 4 Rooms he was involved with.
There's 4 total. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Well, you remember 4
but
Rooms?
I'm talking about True Romance and Natural Born Killers.
You're right. The 2 movies that he wrote afterwards. True Romance, which I didn't watch until a couple years ago.
Fucking amazing.
Fucking so good.
Love that movie.
So good. And he wrote that, and it's pretty, I think Tony Scott directed it, and it's pretty close to his script.
Yeah.
Natural Born Killers is not close at all to his script. Oliver Stone kind of took on the trends of the time, took his script, and reworked the whole thing.
Right.
And I think he's still got a writing credit on it.
Yeah, he did.
But he's even said, he goes, the only thing they kept was the Mickey Mallory thing, which was a scene in the movie, in the courtroom. That is it.
Yeah.
And he rewrote the whole thing. But that movie, I fucking love that movie. That movie is
fucking out there.
It's really good, man.
Yeah.
That's some trippy ass.
It's a day ruiner for sure.
Right.
It's a what?
Day ruiner.
What's that?
We talked about it on the last podcast.
Oh, yeah, I probably
Whereas it's like a movie so fucking surreal that it just kind of ruins your mood for the day. It's like, oh.
You have to watch a palate cleanser.
Dude, I really liked it. The first time I saw it, I was so fucking behind that movie. And I don't know, I think it was the love story aspect of it. Because I was like, that's fucking nuts. But I guess you're right, it is a day ruiner. I want to watch that movie now, too. Then we get From Dusk Till Dawn, which he also wrote. Yeah. That movie is a goddamn trip. Javi, do you like that movie?
I fucking love that movie.
Really?
When I was a kid, I was scared of that movie. That movie scared the shit out of me.
All I remember is somebody being like, oh, this girl gets naked and then vampires show up. And I'm like, I don't want to see that. And then 5 years later, I was like, I really want to see that.
I want to see it again.
That movie is so crazy because it does a switch. It goes from being thrilling and evil and dark and a day ruiner, like you said, where the violence and the implied violence is terrifying.
Yeah.
Then, boom, cut. It is a gore fest.
Yep.
And it's so weird that they build that tension, that opening scene, and like you can feel it. And then all of a sudden you are surrounded by demonic creatures, and it's just over the top and cartoony.
Yeah.
It is the weirdest switch in a movie ever, and I think it's wonderful.
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
That was my first time I've ever seen
I saw a movie
Tarantino
theater.
in person.
Do what?
That was my first time. That was because I remember I was like, because Richie, when he held up his hands, like, that guy looks familiar. And then I saw the credits, Richie. Tarantino's house. That's what
Nice.
Yeah. What is Sex Machine with the fucking the revolver cock?
Right.
That's Romero's guy.
That's Tom Savini. Is who that is.
It also introduced us to Earl Parks.
That's right. At the beginning, and he gets killed.
Yeah.
At the beginning, and then he shows up in Kill Bill, and then he's in Planet Terror also.
Yes.
Yeah. So later, so that character actually survived.
Planet Terror, Death Proof, From Dusk Till Dawn, and
Has he in another one too?
Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Earl McGraw, sorry.
Yeah, by Michael Parks.
Yeah.
The character by Michael Parks.
Yeah.
And then when he plays Esteban at the end of fucking
exactly.
Kill Bill Volume 2, so fucking good. He's amazing, dude. After that, you get Sin City, which he directs one scene in, which I was thinking about the other day. That scene does stand out. It's the car scene. Clive Owen's character is talking to Benicio del Toro's character. And the fact that he chose, they're like, this your scene, do what you want. He chose to have him do the inner monologue.
Yeah.
As a narration.
Spoken piece.
As spoken piece.
Yeah.
It fucking works, and it changes it, and it's trippy as fuck.
Yeah.
And that
That's how it was in the book.
But no,
Yeah.
originally they were going to have it where he wasn't talking. It was just going to be narrated over. Okay? He chose to have him talk out loud. He chose to have him say that entire narration to the character in the car instead of being silent.
I'm Shelley's boyfriend. I'm out of my mind. That whole scene?
The Tarantino... Yeah. No, the scene where he's in the car. With the
okay.
Yep.
He's got the fucking gun barrel stuck in his head.
Yeah. It's just so fucking good. So good. After that, we get the Grindhouse double feature, Death Proof and Planet Terror. Planet Terror is not good. I
I like Planet
it.
Terror. It's fun.
It's weird.
It scares me.
I'm a huge Death Proof fan, though.
Death Proof, that last hour, once again, he does it again. He pulls it from Dusk Till Dawn, where you got the first 40 minutes to an hour being one movie, that accident where the girl gets her face shredded off, and then the second half of that movie being the entire chase on the front hood of the car.
Yeah.
Unfucking believable. And I love that how it ends, where they just pulls up the leg and snaps the guy's head. I think a lot of people don't like that.
I love it.
People don't like that movie.
I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan. Y'all know this. That was one of the main selling points. And he just eats up the scenery also.
And
whenever he gets shot, he starts screaming like a bitch, and then he's starting to pour the tequila on himself, and he's just, the spit take, he sees it riding up real quick.
Yep. Oh, dude, so fucking good. I think that chase scene, too, is
it's amazing.
40 minutes of just pure, unbelievable cinematography.
Zoe Bell.
They did that.
Yeah, that's Zoe.
That's insane. That's so
Who's
fucking
also the stunt woman in Kill Bill.
Right. Javi, what do you think of that movie?
Didn't like it? Didn't like Grindhouse?
Yeah? Nothing?
Nothing.
Why not?
First of all,
Fucking hipster.
This was at a time where I was like deathly afraid of zombies, and I was a full-grown adult at this time.
That's fine.
I just didn't like zombies. I didn't like those zombies. They were all mutated and gnarly looking.
Oh, that was great, I thought.
Like it's
Fucking
like,
Josh Brolin in it was fucking awesome.
Like I thought the zombies looked like really good and scary, but it just scared me. Like that kind of zombie really freaks me out.
I feel like thinking about it now, it's definitely a callback to like Return of the Living Dead and shit like that. I think I need to give it a second.
It's like a John Carpenter movie. They use fucking John Carpenter music in it.
I think I need to give it a second chance. It's a weird fucking movie, and I remember thinking that Rodriguez doesn't always hit for me. Like I think Once Upon a Time Mexico is a terrible fucking movie.
It sucks.
Really?
It is horrible, dude.
Yeah.
Desperado, that's a great
El
movie.
Mariachi.
El Mariachi's fine. Desperado is a great fucking movie. Once Upon a Time Mexico fucking sucks. Same thing with Spy Kids.
They're all terrible.
Not the first one.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl. He's hit and miss. Like sometimes he does stuff that's not great.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I think he's half and half.
The Faculty is an amazing.
Yeah, The Faculty was dope.
You did Faculty?
Yes, that movie holds up. From Dusk Till Dawn, he directed that. That movie holds up. You saw Battle Angel Alita.
So fucking good.
That's what I'm saying. That's a Rodriguez, man. So he's hit and miss. It just depends on what he's putting his fucking stamp on. So
I think he did Predators also.
I think he produced it.
I was going to say he produced and wrote it.
So after this, we get Inglourious Bastards. I'm a fan.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah,
that movie
this might be one of my favorite.
I put it up there with Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
I think it is. The first time I watched it, it's a sublime movie. You don't know what you're watching, and by the end of it, you're like, how did the stuff with the theater play into this? But wait, it all came together at the end, and the characters never met, but they kind of
that whole fucking opening scene, though. The dialogue between him and the Frenchman.
I was watching
terrifying.
that.
Holy shit, that's
no
so
one
damn
does
good.
tension like him.
Yeah.
No one does tension like him. I don't even know if there's a soundtrack underneath that. It's pure acting is what it is. It's just, it's in its angles, and it's a terrifying, like, claustrophobic feeling, and you know something's not right, but you're kind of buying it.
The music didn't start until he said you're harboring enemies of the state, aren't you?
That scene didn't kick off, and like he does like the ever so slight zoom in when hand like all of a sudden his face goes like fucking dead serious. You're harboring fugitives of the state, aren't you?
Yeah.
They're in your floorboards, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was watching that scene at work the other day.
Brings out that giant fucking pipe too, just to kind of like show him who's boss.
Yeah, like, I'm in control here, boy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's what I'm saying. He has the ability to take something simple and something that should not be terrifying or make it intense or make it interesting and turn that around and just change it.
The basement scene.
From which movie?
Fucking Inglourious
Bastards.
Bastards.
Oh,
Same thing.
well,
That's fucking
when
building up
they're
tension where they think that they're fucking caught, and
yeah.
they're not until he fucking does the English 3 inch or the German 3.
Yeah.
Fucking amazing.
And that's the writing too, the Mexican showdown, which he does better than anyone.
Yeah.
And you see
Well, technically, that scene wasn't a Mexican standoff.
that's
That's a joke.
Until the end.
so
Oh, the German didn't know.
on
No.
top of that, I think you also get that scene in his next movie, Django Unchained, where at the table at the end between Leonardo
Oh, yeah,
DiCaprio
that scene's
and
all
Django
fucking
and
amazing.
the other guy, that is literally where you're just like, holy fuck. And I don't think that's a perfect movie, but there's a lot that's going on in that movie that I like.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw it in theaters, and I was just like,
So did I.
holy shit. I was like, this is amazing. And I think Leonardo DiCaprio was... That Oscar was stolen from him that year.
Oh, yeah.
He's putting his all into that fucking role.
Yeah.
And
he fucking destroyed it as
he's
Calvin
amazing.
Candy.
I mean, like, he literally punched that skull and, like, broke his hand.
And then rubbed his actual blood on the actress's face.
Yeah.
And you just see your Jenny like, ugh,
Yeah.
that was for real.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's that movie. That movie, though, I like that whole
That
ending.
movie was like really brutal.
Yeah, and that ending where he just goes in and starts killing everyone, I'm just like, fuck yeah,
Wait,
do it.
we kind of ended prematurely on Inglourious, I think.
Okay,
we
go
didn't
ahead.
break
I'm
up
sorry.
how he rewrote history.
Oh, absolutely. Whenever he fucking shoots Hitler in the face,
Right.
bring it.
Yeah.
Like, who's against that?
So-
and he makes Hitler such a character. Like,
Right.
he's over the top and he's ridiculous. And, I mean, Hitler had that, but at the same time, like, they really played that up. I thought that was cool
I think
shit.
Tarantino himself said that this would be the type of movies that the people in Pulp Fiction would go watch, is what Inglourious Bastards is.
Right.
Like, it's hyper-stylized violence and shit like that, but I forget how the fucking quote goes, but it's like, you know, if the people in Pulp Fiction were watching a war movie, this is the war movie that they'd be watching.
Right.
Pretty much.
And the one, and Brad Pitt's really fucking good in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He, like, the second he shows up, originally they were going to cast Adam
Sandler as Donnie Donowitz.
Yeah. And then he ended up.
Which is the great-grandfather or the dad of Lee Donowitz from True Romance.
Holy shit, they connect that movie too?
Yep.
We talked about Django already, and then we get to the Hateful Eight, which Javi hates. Why do you hate the Hateful Eight?
Hateful
Alright.
Eight hater.
You
Here's
hate
why
it.
I'm a Hateful Eight hater. They killed Kurt Russell, and he was
Yeah.
the shit in that fucking movie.
Yeah. he
Once
was
again,
great.
he's so good at
And
doing a
They
two-act
really harkened
quiz.
on my hatred on Jennifer Jason Leigh.
She was great in it.
She was great. Jennifer Jason Leigh, to me, is an amazing actress. So good at her craft to the point where I fucking hated her character, single white female, to the point where I actually started to hate the actress.
Uh-huh.
And the same
Well,
thing
that's a
happened
good
with
actress.
this one.
That's a good actor.
It's a good act. She's a good actress, straight up. And I just fucking like that. Her portrayal of that character. I'm like, oh my god, I want this character
Yeah,
to
but
fucking die
didn't De
so
Niro
bad.
pump her full in fucking Jackie Brown? Wasn't that her?
That was
thing?
Bridget Fonda.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was the same person.
God damn.
But she was a single white
she
female,
was
wasn't
fucking,
she?
Yes, she was.
Yes, all
That's
right.
how it ties together.
That's the connection I have.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure it out. What is it about the Hateful Eight that you like so much?
The dialogue in it is fucking amazing.
I've said it before. It's a stage play.
Yeah.
That movie
It's
is
so
100% a stage
good.
play.
The entire stagecoach ride, which lasts fucking 30 minutes off the top, damn
Right.
near. Walton Goggins nails it with his fucking accent and the way he portrays that character, Chris Mannix. Like you said, John, the Hangman Ruth, Kurt Russell,
The
amazing.
whole thing.
Samuel L. Jackson, amazing.
And for me, like I said, it's like you're watching a stage play. It was so funny that he wanted to do this in this extreme panoramic thing
Right.
for a movie that's claustrophobic. And I
Right.
never understood it, but I also did because he wanted all the actors in every scene. He wanted you to be able to see there's people over here and there's people over here.
Shit going on in the background.
It's a who done it, basically.
Yeah,
is what
it's
you're
Clue.
looking at.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
cool.
And
Western
the
Clue.
way it ends, like we said before, I love the way it ends, where everyone fucking dies.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Well, I mean, the cut in the scene, well, what you didn't see is 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
They leased the coffee, and he goes through the whole rundown, narrates everything that has been going on while we were watching what was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
And
My
it
favorite.
kind of pulls it back.
And then Jodie Domergue, fucking Channing Tatum getting shot in his fucking head as soon as he pops it up.
taken out
Yep.
immediately. I was going to say, he has directed a couple TV shows. I will say the CSI that he did was fucking badass. You guys ever see it?
Negative.
And he takes one of the characters and he puts them in a casket in the ground, just like in Kill Bill. And basically they have to figure
Oh,
out how
I
to save
fucking
them.
love that
That's a-
episode.
that's a
And it was like laced with C4 on the bottom
and
of
then
it.
the
And
ants get
yank them
in
out.
and shit like that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. So he did a really damn good job in that. There was also the Dusk Till Dawn TV series, which I don't know if you guys ever saw that, but he was involved in the creation of that. After the 10 films are up, if he only does have one more left, do we want to see a Tarantino TV series? Do we want to see a Tarantino documentary?
Maybe, yeah,
See a
that would be good.
Tarantino-
If they do the series like they do them on HBO and he can make it however he wants, you know.
I think he could go to anyone. Do we want to see a Star Trek? I do. You don't want to see it?
I just want to see like a straight up Tarantino movie. I want to see him do somebody else's like fucking work.
Like Simon Pegg said, we don't need Pulp Fiction in space.
And then Tarantino came back at him too. Man.
Yeah.
There's some weird animosity going on between those two right now.
I guess.
You always know you're getting into something good with him.
Right.
That's the big thing.
Yeah, it just represents good filmmaking to me.
I really like the stylization of his shots, the way he sets them up, his cinematography.
Yeah.
I also really love his dialogue. Like, the way he writes movies is kind of like similar to the way dialogue movies are in like fucking Wes Anderson. It's like fucking quick, it's fucking smart, and it's sharp.
Almost poetic.
Yeah, almost poetic.
Is he the modern Shakespeare? Is that what we're thinking? Like,
Yeah, I would say that.
Highly quotable. Everyone wants to speak those words that come out of his, mind and
Right.
go on the page. Yeah, goddamn.
And there's just some cool shit that he says too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like most of his movies, like we talked before, could be stage plays, so maybe he is the modern Shakespeare. Like Pulp Fiction, you could do as a stage play.
Right.
Reservoir Dogs, you could definitely do as a stage play.
Right.
That's a single room story. No one really does that anymore. I mean, it's called a story in a bottle, like on TV shows, where they have to do the lower budgeted episodes.
Right.
So they can only use like 1 or 2 rooms. Like
Right.
They're called bottle episodes. That's what he does with films. He's able to make bottle episodes in the movies.
Fucking Breaking Bad even had one of those.
Yeah, they had a couple of them.
Yeah.
Pretty much every show does a bottle episode once a season. So
And I also like that you can tell a Tarantino movie. It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
different from anything else that's out there.
Yeah, and he's very deliberate with the songs that he chooses for his soundtracks.
Amazing soundtracks.
Yeah, like you said, his hyper stylized version of shots and takes. He's got his trademarks. You always see bare feet in them, looking up from the trunk or the underneath the hood, whichever.
Yep.
The camera's looking up at the.
he does a lot of low angle stuff where it's very point of view stuff, and it's always kind of comic booky, comic panel framed, and I really like that. I think that's we all kind of strive for that.
It's like his movies are taking you through a graphic novel.
This new one is. I think it might be probably my favorite. I'm not sure yet. Another couple watches, but it's up there. It's really, really fucking good.
Right. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
it, dude. I cannot wait to see it. Javi, do you want to see it?
I'll watch it.
Yeah, earlier you're like, fuck that movie.
You fucking bitch. I did not.
I hate Tarantino. You know that.
You despise Tarantino. Earlier it's like, I'm going to fucking rip Tarantino a new one.
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
I know, I'm just kidding. Javi didn't say that. I'm just fucking with him.
I'm gonna tear apart this whole Tarantino ring.
Thank you so much for listening. Definitely check out our Facebook page.
Check out our Facebook page.
We Are Error.
Facebook.
We Are Error.
And also check out
Our
Quack
YouTube
Attack,
channel.
Quack Attack 5000. Also send us a line at quackattack5000@gmail.com. If you enjoyed this podcast, please share with your friends. And this has been Duck. I've been here with
Jake
and
Hava.
And go fuck yourself. I don't know what our ending's gonna be. I don't.
I'm leaking.
Yeah, that should be.
It's the energy cue.
Can I do my impression of Paula Dean now?
Yeah, go ahead.